Hey there, fam. How's it going? And welcome to episode of the Midweek Motivation. How y'all doing? It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I know between hurricanes and tornadoes, earthquakes, all crazy things are being devastated. So if you've been affected by that, know that our prayers are with you, myself, Rodz and the whole team. And there's a bunch of people just are praying for you, just making sure you're okay. Obviously, you can reach out to your local communities. You can reach out to outside resources. You can reach out to me even. I know, what can I do? I can pray for you guys. So just know that you got a brother in me, yeah? So this conversation, right, that we're about to have is one that I got from my morning devotionals, right? I was having a conversation with God. I was in my backyard and just taking it in the beautifulness. It was a really beautiful day. I was like, wow, Lord, this is great. And it kind of, in a weird way, made me think about rainy days and like cloudy days. Why? Because we had some bad storms and everything. And this was like the first day where actually, blue skies, it wasn't anything too bad. And it makes you realize that when the storms are coming, right, and when they're actually here and they hit and it's crazy, how much you appreciate the good days. Now, obviously, right? But it made me look at it in a different lens. That what if, right, you had so many good days that you started slacking off, right? So I'm from Florida, right? If you guys know, in Florida, when it comes to hurricanes, we don't always, what's the nice way of saying it? We don't always prepare properly. I can't, fault that. It is what it is. We get so many of them, we're like, it's all right. Unless it's like a category 4, we're like, oh, maybe I should get some water. But, if you're from Florida, you understand that reference. But what if, right, and this is what I want to talk about today, what if we get so used to the good times that we forget what actually got us those good times, right? There's a phrase that is renowned, it is a quote, and hopefully I'm going to say it correctly, without reading it now. It says, hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men create hard times, and the circle keeps on going forward, right? What is that saying? That when certain instances happen, right, when bad things starts happening, it forges people, right, men and women, to go and to adapt, to get better, and to overcome that. And what happens? After that, their children or the people after them enjoy the benefits of soft times, right? They don't have to go through the craziness, right? Like here was the Great Depression here in the United States. People learn from that, all these different things, yeah? So what happens from that? Then soft times create soft men. Get complacent, right? We start falling into, it's all right. Nah, it's okay. We don't have to work that hard. We don't have to push that furthermore. And then soft men create hard times. And then the circle keeps on going back and forth. Now, why don't we, right, learn from our mistakes and grow from them? Obviously, this is an age-old question of an age-old question of, is it better just to kind of like live in the middle where it's not amazing, but it's not bad. So you just kind of like, you're constantly always pushing forward. Well, in my opinion, no, right? I want to strive for greatness. I want to strive for complete financial freedom. What does that mean? That means a financial freedom where my children's children don't have to worry about that, right? Generational wealth. It's nothing even be like the actual finances. It could be, with the legacy that I'll leave for my family, the legacy that, my last name will hold to my children, and then those children will pass it down to my grandkids and great-grandkids and all the way down, right? That's how we need to be with our walk with Christ. That we can't fall complacent to, well, okay, Lord, you got me out of this. Now I'm just going to relax now, right? This isn't a vending machine where you're like, okay, I want this, and that. No, this is not how the relationship needs to be with God. We sometimes forget. I'll put myself in that category, right? Where, we're not perfect. Where when things start going well, you kind of start slacking off a little bit. Like, Lord, like the first couple of days, let's say, Lord, thanks so much. You got me out of that struggle. You got me out of that storm. Yeah. And then a week goes by. And 2 weeks goes by. Maybe in a month or a year, right? We'll even push it that far. And you forget the grit, right? The hard work, the determination, those late nights and those early mornings that got you there, right? If you don't realize that. Obviously, when you get better at it, when you're like young in your faith, that can happen. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing, God. And then you're good, and it's like boiling water. I had a talk about that, calling boiling point, right? You boil super high, and then you just drop down. And what we need to realize is that we can't have that kind of flash. We can't have that kind of like flash faith. Ooh, that's actually good right there. Do not have flash faith. I don't know if that's a hashtag, but right now it should be flash faith, which is when we are super on fire in the moment, but once we over the struggle, it just dies out. You can't do that. The Bible talks about that, like the seed, you drop it into, to shallow soil, where the roots go down, it sprouts up really quick, but because it doesn't have, a good root system, any kind of wind blows it away and it just takes it off. For me, it is crucial, that's a good word to use it. It is crucial and vital to always remember where this all came from, right? Remember those times where it's just you and God. Remember those times where you just were deep in, into the word, where you're just, no matter what happened, it didn't matter if you had 500 emails to answer to, you had 20 business calls and 2 Zoom meetings that last 8 hours apiece. I know, 24 hours, whatever. You still found time to talk to God, right? Maybe, and again, people are like, oh, but Rodz, man, back then, I was struggling and I had all this time, and I'm actually living the life where, I'm being prosperous, I have a family now, I have a good business, I have a good whatever, right? So I don't have enough time. I'm not saying, right, because if you're not working, right, and you're just constantly moving, obviously maybe you have 2 hours just to go and take your time, get some devotional, that's all good, right? But now you have a job, now you have a family, whatever. Maybe you can't take those 2 or 3 hours, but you can take 30 minutes. Put your phone on silent, tell your husband or wife, tell the kids, like, hey, listen, I need 30 minutes, right? I need my time with God. Why? Because without God at the center of it, without God nourishing you and pulling you out of these things, all that goes away, right? If at your home, God's on the center, you could have problems with your kids, problem with your marriage. And then you start questioning, but Lord, what happened? Well, you took God out of the middle. Right? He's the glue. He's the centerpiece that you need. So if you remove that out of it, everything on the inside has no base. It has no, has no like skeleton. It has no like foundation. That's what we're looking for. Foundation. You're at the foundation now. You crack the foundation. Well, what are you doing? Right? So that's what I wanted to like really jump off with you guys today is that we need to understand that our foundation is found in Christ. Right? Don't have flash faith. It is important to go and remember what brought us to this position, right? Like if you hear the phrase, you're in the middle of what you prayed for, right? But no one will talk about the after part. You got out of the middle. Now you're actually living what you prayed for. You're right. You're doing it. You're living it out. You're not just in the struggle of like, I'm in between. No. You've made it. You've reached, let's say you bought that car, you bought that house, you got that marriage, all that for sure. You got that business promotion. Phenomenal. But what's next? Don't get complacent and just be like, oh, okay, you know what? I became, let's say, general manager. I made VP, I made CEO, whatever. I'm good here. You don't want more. You don't want to be president of the company. You don't want to be, open up your own company instead of being under somebody else. You want to open up your own thing. There's things that you should always strive for, for even more, right? So if you stay stagnant, like water. If you ever smelled stagnant water, why does it move? It starts to smell. It smells nasty. Don't recommend it, right? But like pools of water, what happens? There's bacteria, there's mosquitoes, it starts to smell because it's not moving. But fresh living water, when it starts going through the stream, it smells well, it smells good, right? It smells like fresh, brisk, it gives you nutrients to the body. That's how we need to be with our walk with Christ. We need to constantly be growing, constantly be moving forward, constantly be, moving the bar up. Okay, hey, I reached here, let me go here, let me go here, let me go here. No one's telling you to stop. Right? Never once does God say, once you reach this position of wealth, stop. No, because maybe that money, right? I said the finances, maybe that money isn't for you. Maybe that money is for you to help bless another church, bless another person, bless your family, or even leave a legacy for your children, right? Maybe, you got out of that, bad mental state, right? And you're in a bad depression state, bad, some deep, dark thoughts that I always talk about. Yeah? Maybe you got out of that, and now what? You're just going to keep that to yourself? No, go out there and be like, listen, this is what God did for me. I was in that position before. Go mentor someone. Go give a talk to someone. It doesn't have to be like on podcasts like this. It could be a neighbor. It could be a friend. Just reach out. Hey, listen, I know you've been going through some stuff. I don't know exactly what you're going through, but this is how I got through it. Bam, 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 and you do it that way. All right? So it doesn't have to be just finances. It doesn't have to be emotion. It can just be like, hey, listen, you know what? I had a great week. How was your week? It's kind of not that good. Let's go grab a coffee. Let me, can I invite you out? Let's grab some lunch. Something. Can I just sit with you? That's something that I know that I talked about that recently. It's the importance of sometimes just sitting with your brother, sitting with your sister and be like, you good? No? Let's just sit here then. You want to just talk about it? That's cool. You just need a hug? Something, right? Sometimes you just need to be there. You just gotta show up. That's the important thing. Yeah? So don't stay stagnant, don't have flash faith. What you need to do is get after it, keep pushing, keep getting after new levels, new miracles, new big visions. Just keep making those goals, those ideas you have, write them down, make those visions into a reality. Just keep getting after it. Yeah? I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these talks. I'll see you next week. Stay safe, and as always, make it the best day ever.